That's some bright light, y'all. I think we just need to go ahead and let's see how dark it is if I do that. Wow. My ring light is powerful. Okay, get on in here, y'all. Yes. Give me one sec. I'm going to see if I can't turn on this overhead light. Be a little bit brighter. Okay, yes, that's much more like it. So, hi, hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Neema, and this is Here is Neema, where we talk about all things fashion, beauty, lifestyle, feminine essence, feminine energy, and my hair won't stay out of my face, so don't mind me, y'all. And all of the things, y'all. I have been off. I've been off the grid when it comes to YouTube, pretty much every other social media too. Live videos are honestly where it's at. I love the idea of doing a live video because you guys get it right away. There's no editing, there's no nothing. So I said, you know what? Today, on this day, Labor Day weekend, which it's been a great weekend, super relaxing, super fun for me. And today I was I rested, but I also was productive. So, we had a little bit of that going on. But I said I have to get on YouTube and film a video, whether it's a live or a recorded video, something, y'all. And honestly, this this live is going to be straight from my heart today because I feel like I've been going through it these last 2 weeks. When I haven't posted anything, I haven't been making videos. It's because I've just been super duper busy and super duper stressed, and it's just been a lot going on. I know I talk about it sometimes in my videos that I am a teacher, and so over the summer, this past summer, and I think also last summer I did take the summer off. So I've been, taking summers off and just trying to utilize all of the vacation time that I have and really just enjoy myself because that was just not always the case. And I'm going to get into a couple of things with y'all. So, I got my little wine, okay? We are sitting down. I'm just in like home clothes. It's kind of a cute little top. It says, good vibes only. I'm not going to get up so you guys can see the whole thing because anybody got time for that. But just know I'm all about the good vibes, okay? So, the realities of a working woman. Y'all know I just need to take a sip. And this is such a loaded topic, especially in our spaces, our feminine energy, feminine essence, inner work, just our spaces here online and on social media, YouTube, the whole bit, just talking about working women and kind of what we go through and, women working in society today and is it right? Is it wrong? A lot of women are coming out saying they don't want to work and we've got the soft life thing going on. We've got the, I want to be a housewife. I want to be a stay-at-home mom thing going on. And I will be honest with y'all, and if you know me personally, you know this already about me. I am one of them, okay? I literally switched my career because originally, and we'll get into this, originally I was studying communication and marketing in undergrad, and I thought that I wanted to climb the corporate ladder. I thought that I wanted to get my MBA. I thought that I wanted to do, just do the thing, have the career thing going on for myself. And I literally switched my career after realizing the realities of working women. And there's so many instances that I can talk about on this topic alone that made me come to the decision that I made, which is to go into teaching, which is still a really, really, it's an amazing profession. Obviously, we need teachers, but at the same time, teachers are undervalued, meaning we're underpaid, and the workload can be tremendous. So, and I do teach, elementary, the lower grades, and I mean, there's just, I think at every grade level has its challenges, but I would never say that my decision to become a teacher was easier necessarily, even though we do get the summers off and we do get holidays, which is a big, amazing perk that I absolutely love. And at my current job now, they do pay us 12 months out of the year, so that's a really great perk that not a lot of teachers have. And I've been there too, where I've only gotten paid like 10 months out of the year, and I've had to kind of make it work. Um, so, there's a lot of things that come along with that are not that great. Obviously, if I kept on with the track of, doing my marketing thing and we're working in PR, I'm sure I'd be making a lot more money. I'd also be dealing with a lot of other things when it comes to workplace politics and all of that type of stuff, which y'all, not that there's not politics in teaching, of course it's loaded. I don't think that there's necessarily any career that is gonna not have its issues, and especially being a woman in the workplace. I mean, it's already hard enough. We already have so much going on, and with us, our bodies, our lives. And I know with me personally, I just felt lied to. I just felt lied to, like, my whole life. I grew up with very hard working women in my family, and I guess I never really questioned it. It was never something like becoming a housewife or becoming a stay-at-home mom was something that was not ever presented to me when I was very young as like an option. I always knew that I would go to college and I would work. And of course, like, our society also pushes that on us. Girls, you can be whatever you want to be. You can be an astronaut, you can be a scientist, a physicist, a doctor. You can be anything, and they're pushing girls into STEM and all of those things. And not that that's not needed, but I strongly believe that I would say a good majority of women, if not the majority, let's just say at least half, a good portion of women in America are not working because they're doing some groundbreaking, revolutionary work that is like really necessarily making a difference in the world, like a nuclear physicist or, um, you know, in politics or something of that degree, even law, medicine. And I absolutely believe that women belong in those spaces. We need to be in those spaces. But that's not every woman. Most women are working for a paycheck. We are working because we have to work, not necessarily because we want to work. And there are women out there who love their careers and things like that. I guess for me, this video is really just coming on, sharing with you guys kind of what I've been going through these last couple of weeks, because for me, I am not that type of woman. I came into the teaching profession not looking to be in teaching for 20 plus years. I came into the teaching profession because it was a more balanced, to me, from when I weighed the pros and cons, it was a much more balanced schedule in life for what I'm trying to create as a woman who is and continues to, just grow in my, feminine essence. And as I learn more about who living in my alignment, I should say, who I'm really meant to be and how I'm meant to exist on this planet as a woman in my feminine. And, a lot of that is not exerting myself too much, not working, overtime and, all these long hours, weekends, traveling nonstop for work, things of that nature that I know that if I was in that other profession, I would have had to do. Teaching is, well, not necessarily. There's a lot of marketing jobs out there and PR and whatnot, but, it depends. And it's something that I knew that it would have to be a constant grind of like climbing the ladder, whereas teaching is a really great profession if you are a woman who, you just want a softer life. You want something that you're doing that's more fulfilling and not necessarily making money for a company. And don't get me wrong, money is great. Money is amazing, which is why I love women in business. I myself consider myself to be an entrepreneur, and I'll have more information on, all the stuff going on with me in other videos. But I have an entrepreneurial spirit, y'all. I have been in and out of business since I graduated college, maybe even before then, a little bit, So I love business. I think business is amazing for women because it gives us the flexibility to be able to do what we want when we want a lot more frequently. And that's really the problem with the jobs, isn't it? Like, I know for me, like I was saying, I mean, going into teaching was my choice, but I didn't go into teaching thinking I'm going to be a teacher for 20 years. Yes, it's more creative. Yes, you get to kind of have that nurturing aspect to you when you are, interacting with the kids and things like that, especially in elementary, but even in middle school and even in high school, you can have that. My problem with working as a whole is, as a woman, I think one of the biggest realities that nobody tells you is that, when you do have children, or when you are, experiencing things that are unique to women's life, like your menstrual pain, or just, of course, maternity leave, that's a whole different ball game. But, even in that instance, if you are in some of these other careers and you decide, I'm going to take a year off to be with my baby, you think you're going to come back to work, you're not going to come back to work like you left. There's a few careers where women can do that, which, nursing is a big one, which is why we see that, a lot of women have always been drawn to nursing. You can go in and out of nursing, you can work part-time, you can take breaks and go back and all of that. Same with teaching. Teaching is one of those. You can work part-time, you can come in, you can go out, you can be with your kids, and you can kind of come back without too many issues. Whereas other industries, when the technology moves on, your experience becomes irrelevant, and it's like you have to start all over if you are wanting to join the workforce again. So that's one issue, just one major issue. But then just that constant grind, and the pressures that come from work, the pressure to perform, the pressure to always be on, the pressure to be in your masculine pretty much 90% of the time, and continuously be pushed to the next level, and results driven, and just that aspect of work. And I don't care what industry you're in. I think if you're in sales, they push you, okay? Whether you're retail or you're corporate or whatever, you're being pushed, okay? Everything, and I will speak for America, and I think that, in some ways this can apply to a lot of you that do not live in the States, but everything, this is a capitalist country. Everything is driven by money. Even in my profession in teaching, everything is about the money. When there's budget cuts, there's people are getting laid off. I recently just had a conversation with a good friend of mine, and they're in tech. Everybody is making good money in tech. Their company gives them lots of perks, and it's like, ooh, awesome, fun. And when they do layoffs, it's there you go. So, a lot of people are, talking about just like, not wanting to work, and the quiet quitting thing. And there's so much talk about just like, starting your own business and living the laptop lifestyle and making money doing this, making money doing that. But my experience has been this. I do personally know people, and God willing, I'll be one of them, in a few short months to years, amen and amen, who have been able to leave their full-time jobs, making money doing other things, online and offline, business. And that is something that I feel like for women, especially for us feminine energy women, you know, we want to be married or we want to have children, or even if you don't want to have children, you want to have a lifestyle where you have your family being more of the kind of focus, the kind of center, your family and your community, which I think that is uh, our innate wiring as women. You know, most women, we want that, okay? We do not want to be waking up, hustle and bustle through the rush hour traffic to drop our kids off and, you know, be at work taking orders from some boss all day, running around trying to get things done all the time, not, you know, having to ask permission to take off work so that we can be with our kids and be there for our kids. And even if you like me, I don't have kids, okay, but I tell you what, I feel like if we really want to talk about women's rights, we should be able to have menstrual leave. Of course, in America, they would never do that, because the funny thing is, if you did give women, you know, 2 to 3 days off every single month, which would be fabulous, I think that would help a lot. The funny thing is, we would all literally be off at the same time, because you know how your cycle syncs and with the women you're around, and that would actually be hilarious if you had I mean, like, I'm a teacher, I work with majority women, so if we were all off, you know, at the same time every month, that would kind of be a disaster. But in theory, it sounds really, really great. And I just feel like that's one reason why business is so great for women, is because you can work on your own schedule. You can work from home. If you want to take it slow some months, if you want to kind of kick it up into, you know, high gear at some months or in some parts of the month, if you are someone who wants to live your life kind of according to your natural cycles and things like that. I know that for me, I do try to do that. I do want to do like a more in-depth video about that. But to be honest, guys, it is so hard when you are working full time. So many of the things that we discuss in this movement, in this kind of life, in this journey of just like being more in sync with your feminine essence and feminine energy and living a more aligned lifestyle as a woman, is very, very difficult when you are doing the hustling and the grinding with working full time, or even working part-time jobs, which, you know, I have been in and out of part-time jobs. I've worked a lot of jobs in my life, okay, guys. I've worked multiple jobs at one time. I've done it. I've been there. I've done that. I've taken breaks. And that's one reason why in my current job right now, I am like, in my current, not just job, but just in teaching in general, like, I am determined to set very, 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 very clear and strict boundaries. And I highly recommend that to all of you ladies who relate to what I'm saying, who are in the same boat as me. Girl, you have got to have some boundaries with work. And I know that it's easier said than done for some, especially depending on your position. But if you want to live a more aligned life, and you really are adamant about that, you have to create those boundaries. So cutting off work at a certain time, when you leave, you're done. It's really hard with me as a teacher to not think about work on the weekends, or like when I get home at night, because I'm always kind of thinking about the kids, thinking about the lesson that I have to teach tomorrow. Oh, do I have everything prepared? But what I have done and what I will continue to do is create systems so that I can streamline everything and everything can be as easy as possible. Making your life at work as easy as possible will really, really, really come in handy. Making sure that you have a simple routine where you're getting enough sleep, you're not waking up tired in the morning, where you're having like, you know, 2-3 cups of coffee every morning just to make it through the day. Girl, you are killing yourself if you do that. And again, I've been there, okay? Even just in college, you know, pulling the all-nighters. And I used to have a friend who took caffeine powder. Like, I mean, it's not like illegal or anything, but it's like, caffeine is like, oh my God. And I love coffee, don't get me wrong, but I have to do just 1 cup a day, just 1 in the morning, just 1. Because, you know, the thing with caffeine is, it's just, well, this video is not about caffeine, so we're not gonna go there right now, because I will be rambling on forever. Y'all know how I am. But setting those boundaries are going to be really, really, really important for you if you're on this journey and you are a woman who's working full time, okay? Now, if you are a woman who's working full time and you do not desire to work, like myself, I do not want to work. Okay, I would love to get married. I would love to become, more of a housewife, or if I did work, I'm working part-time. I can kind of be at home more. I can cultivate my home. I can, be there for my family more, even if my family is just my immediate family and my husband. Like, if I don't have kids yet, like, I would love that lifestyle. Okay, and I think that if a lot more women were honest, they would also admit to the fact that they want that lifestyle too. And so a lot of women, feel burnt out. A lot of women feel like, oh my gosh, I do not want to do this every day. Especially when you have kids, I think it really starts to wear on you because you missed out on your kids' lives, putting your child in daycare full time and having to go back to work after 3 months. It's like, I can't imagine how devastating that must be, for so many women, and they do it and they don't complain. I mean, or maybe they do complain, probably both, and they're breastfeeding or pumping their breast milk at work, and like, it's kind of, I don't know, it's like we've normalized this, but it's honestly bananas. Like, of course they're supposed to be home with their babies. Of course they're supposed to be resting. They're not supposed to be hustling and bustling and drinking a million cups of coffee just to make it through the day, exhausted. And, I know that there's women who love work, who would never want to leave their jobs, who they see themselves just rising the corporate ladder and they want to do that. And if that's you, amazing. High five, you go girl, you do that. I am talking for and speaking for the women who are like myself, who do not desire that kind of life. Again, I feel that if a lot of women were being honest across the board, in all arenas, in all careers, there are women who are working who, if given the opportunity, would probably be like, you know what? I'm good on this. I could take it or leave it. It's not really, I would rather have a different life, or I would rather do this with my time. If I didn't need the money from this job, I would do X, Y, or Z. Or if I had my husband supporting me and our family 100%, I would be home in a heartbeat. There are a lot of women who are in that position, and there are a lot of women who have made that leap. They've taken that leap, and they've found other ways to make money, like online businesses and things like that. It is super, super prevalent. I know you guys know this. Believe me, when I get my stuff on and popping, I'm going to be up on here giving y'all all the tea, okay? But right now, I am a student, okay? I am a student because that is actually my next point that I'm going to get into, because I wrote some notes for y'all. So make a plan. Make an escape plan, okay? If you are working and you are tired of working, girl, I'm tired of working. This Labor Day weekend has been so rejuvenating for me. I have really got to just do, sit down, journal, like do so many things that I haven't had a chance to do these last few weeks. And it has just felt so good, so nourishing, and just so rejuvenating. And I felt so good this summer when I wasn't working, guys. I am not made for this life, okay? As much as I love the kids that I teach, and as much as I am fulfilled by teaching, I cannot do it for 20 years and retire. That has never been my desire. I am working because I have to work, and this is what I choose to do. But I'm not meant for this. I'm not meant for this. And if you agree with me, just keep listening. Okay, I had to go off on a little tangent, but y'all just stay with me. Stay with me now. Okay, so make a plan. Whether it's a 1-year plan, or a 5-year plan, or a 3-year plan, or a 6-month plan. Get a reserve in the bank. Store that money up in the bank. Have a reserve, honey. Have a peace out fund, as Lynn Allure likes to call it. Okay, I love me some Lynn Allure now. And she's younger than me, and she's been able to retire. Like, amazing. So, go on YouTube. Like, inspire yourself. Start watching videos of people that have become financially independent. See what they've done. Buy their programs. hey, key, and this is me preaching to myself too, buy the programs. Don't just rely on the free stuff that you hear. Invest in yourself. If this is something you're serious about, if you are really like, I cannot work for someone else for the rest of my life, I cannot take orders, I cannot ask for permission to take a day off when I'm, need to go travel to see my sister or my cousin, or go on vacation, or when I'm just not feeling well, or I just don't feel like being on my feet, or whatever, because I'm bleeding right now. Like, if that's you and you truly do feel this way, even if you're working from home, I mean, working from home is still work. Wouldn't you rather, not be home and be able to go about and do whatever you need to do instead of necessarily reporting to a boss or doing some kind of work for yourself? I personally feel like the best setup would be to be married and have my husband provide for me and our family, and then me just kind of make money, but not necessarily have to spend that money on bills and like our livelihood and things like that. And if you kind of are in the same, spaces that I am, when it comes to all the feminine energy, feminine essence stuff, level up world, then you already know this. This is like old news. You're probably like, yeah, duh. But that is kind of what I feel would be the best setup for me to live an optimal life in my feminine and as a woman. I've seen a lot, y'all. I've seen a lot. I'm not going to go on and on and on with the stories. I've seen a lot, though, in my own family, and other women that I've worked with, women that were breadwinners in their homes. I've done internships. I've worked with women who were the sole providers, not even the breadwinner, but the sole provider. I've seen the stress. I've seen what their lives are like, what their limitations are, that they're scared to miss a day of work because they just can't be fired, because what are they going to do? They're scared to do anything because they need this job. They are, sick and having all these autoimmune deficiency diseases. They are workaholics. They need to be the best. They need to distract themselves from their lives because they know that it's effed up, but they need to be able to distract themselves in order to make it, and it's so sad. It's so sad that, we have women like that, and then we have men who are also, tops in their companies, managers, rising the corporate ladder and working alongside these same women, yet they're married, couple of kids, and their wives do not have to work, and their wives are, having a nice little life, having nannies, whether it's part-time or full-time, or even if they don't have a nanny, being able to just go to the grocery store, be at home, manage the home, go to school activities, be involved with the school, go to Target. I mean, just, go on a couple of quiet vacations a year, just enjoying their life. Maybe even making their own money, probably more than the women that are busting their butts, but they have that ease. They're not making money and working hard from a place of, I need this money so that we can survive. They're making money from a place of, I have all this time on my hands. The kids are in school, or the kids are, taken care of for a couple hours a week. What can I do? Let me dabble on the internet. Let me see what I can do in this community. Let me see, where I can take my skills, or what I can create, or what I can do, and end up making buku bucks just because they decided one day that they were going to be creative. If they were baking cookies for their family, now they decided to, start their own baking business and, hire people and, become popular and create their business. There's so many examples I could throw out there, but essentially, I think understanding this and knowing that we were lied to, and I'm sorry to break it to you, we were lied to. Your degrees, they don't matter. Your education, your work experience, the college you went to, the work that you've done. I mean, I'm not here to say anything bad about college. I went to college. I think college is amazing. You should absolutely do it. But I just feel like as a woman, you know, depending on what you want for your life, of course, you really need to think about what the actual future is going to look like. Okay? I just met a lady yesterday. She was a friend of a friend, and she's an educated woman. Education, all the way, master's degrees, okay, black woman, very successful, money, homes, not just a home, homes. She's 38, and she admitted that she does not feel complete. She does not feel complete in her life because she never had children, and she still hasn't had children, and she's working with a fertility doctor, and she is prepared to be a single mother by choice because she feels that children complete her. Now, that's one woman. Okay, I personally do not feel that children will complete me. Do I want children? Absolutely. When the time is right, and obviously with the right person, because I have a way that I would want to raise my children, and I know what I'd want for them. But this woman said that children complete her, and she feels incomplete as a woman because she has not been able to get married and have a family at this point in her life at 38. And you know, it's really a thing. It's really a thing, you guys. I do not feel that, you know, people will sometimes tell me, even when I'm 27 now, but even, you know, when I'm 25, I'm 26, and I'm talking about how I want to get married, you know, I'd have a couple of people be like, what do you mean? You're so young. You're too young. Just have fun. And I'm like, it's not about that. I mean, I am having fun. I know I'm young. I am having fun. I'm doing what I feel is fun. And I don't need to be single to do it necessarily, but I mean, y'all know I have a whole series on this channel of thriving in your single season. I've been having fun. Wanting to be married doesn't mean that it's taking away from my 20s and having fun. And that's a whole topic for a whole nother video. What is having fun? It's really, whatever they're talking about out there is really not that fun, okay? And you heard it here first, okay? Whatever they're saying about having fun is really not that fun. But just go on ahead. I mean, having the freedom to do what you want and all of that is great. But desiring marriage, there's absolutely nothing wrong with desiring marriage. Letting the people in your life know that early on, letting the men that you date know that early on, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's not that you want to marry them, obviously, but yes, you want marriage. I do want marriage. I see myself having children. I do not see myself in the workplace, and that's okay with me, and that is how I feel. Now, let's say I don't get married by necessarily the time that I would want to become, you know, a stay-at-home mom or a housewife. You know, like I said, I'm tired of working now. Just saying. If I had the opportunity right now and I met the right person and everything happened right at this second, I would actually be perfectly okay leaving my job. I would probably just stick it out this year because I don't want to leave the kiddos. That's another reason why teaching has been good for me, because I used to be a serial quitter. It was bad, you guys. Do not do that. It's really bad. I used to be at jobs, and I used to just, you know, be there a couple of months and then quit. But that was mostly like when I was in college and I was just doing, like, you know, little jobs. And a little bit after college, I did do that as well before I went to Korea. But that was just, you know, a little blip. So teaching has really been able to keep me on the straight and narrow because I think about the kids before I think about anybody else. I mean, and myself too. I think about myself, I think about the kids, but before I think about anybody else, because you know, you all know all the BS that we got to deal with in these jobs. And it's a lot of the expectations, a lot of the BS, a lot of the people, and different things that are being said, different things that are being done, certain shadiness. I mean, there's a lot that comes along with these jobs, and which is why I really sit back and I wonder, like, wow, I can't believe people actually do this for 30-40 years and then retire. Like, I feel like I would need some serious therapy, because I have to do like a whole detox on my way home from work sometimes, because, you know, and not that my job is bad or the people are bad or anything like that, but, you know, we're just people. we're just people, and obviously in a school we're dealing with a lot of people here. We're dealing with parents, we're dealing with kids, we're dealing with coworkers, we're dealing with administration. It's a lot. So it can take a lot out of you, but I feel like that's kind of what's helped me stick with it, is knowing that the kids are benefiting, and I kind of just keep my mindset on them, and I'm like, this is why I'm here to serve them for the time that I'm teaching, for the time that I am in the workforce. That is my focus, and that motivates me. That helps to keep me going, because I treat them kind of like my kids. Like when I'm with them, their parents aren't there. I'm like the next extension. So, and I don't take that lightly. I definitely take it seriously, and I try my best. And I think that that has helped me to stick with my job. So that's just a little tidbit about me. But making a plan and putting that reserve away in the bank, making it work, keeping your goal in sight, coming up with a business idea, business plan, working your business, spending some time every day to push the needle forward. I love Angie Belmar's channel. She talks a lot about this in her what did she call it? Daily Grind? Yes, Daily Grind on the Angie Belmar Vlogs channel. And she's a Beachbody coach, so that's the business that she does. I would not be a Beachbody coach because I love going to the gym, so I'm not really like a home workout kind of a girl. But I think Beachbody's great. I think their business plan is great. I mean, there are people that have had a lot of success being Beachbody coaches, so that's really cool. That's like its own thing. The MLMs, they're for some people, but me personally, I just kind of feel like there's so many opportunities, there's so many things that you can do. Never limit yourself, and if you do want to leave the workforce and your husband's not coming around fast enough, or you just haven't had the opportunity to have children yet, but you just don't feel that working and giving your time and energy, so much of your time and energy, to a corporation or an institution is the best for you and your health and your mental well-being, and just physically, emotionally, all of those things, and you can see a better life for yourself outside of that, just go with it. Start planning, start the process. That's what I'm doing. That's how I think. And I know that, I'm not going to be in the workforce forever. And I'm actively making steps and getting my mind right for the time when I'm going to peace out. So I'm prepping myself, and, whenever my, single status, changes, then that'll be great. But I want to put out there that you don't necessarily have to wait for that to happen for you to start the process. And that's kind of where my mind is at. I'm like, look, no husband or husband or no husband. I'm leaving my job by X date, X time, and I'm going to have what I need to make it. And that is just, and you guys know, I'm into manifestation. I believe in God. I pray. I do all of my inner work, and I'm continuing to grow and develop. And that is something that, it's been so strong in my heart for so long. And I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know that it's going to happen. And, I'm striving for that. I know that a lot of you feel the same way. I talk about it with my girlfriends all the time. We're like, we are tired of working. We do not want to have to keep dealing with this, this and that and the third, and you just you tolerate it. It's your job, it's your livelihood, so you tolerate a lot of things. But thinking about doing this for the next X amount of years, no thank you. So if that is you, I hope that these tips and this content helped you. I know I love watching videos like this, and if you have to go to work tomorrow, girl, get a routine. Listen to some gospel or something motivational on your way to work. Get that mindset right. Make sure that you're doing something that you don't absolutely hate. Make sure that you do something that is actually tolerable, that you feel some type of sense of purpose in doing. I explained to you guys my thoughts on teaching and why I teach. That's why I teach. And that's why I haven't really quit, unless things have been really bad, which that has been the case at some points too. So, you've got to prioritize yourself, and you've got to, do a job that actually makes you feel good in what you're doing. And, be smart. Choose to do work that, is is, what is the word? You can kind of variate. You can variate, and there are a lot of opportunities. It's easy for you to find work, and you know, you're not, so that way if anything happens, you know that you can always go back to work. I mean, the truth is jobs will always be there, but if you have your education, you're used to making a certain amount of money, you know, diversify yourself and, you know, get to where you want to be, because this is life. This is only our one life, our one shot that we have to do it. If you feel it on your heart, don't ignore that pull. Don't ignore that feeling. That is God telling you what you need to do next. So take it seriously, and I hope that these tips helped you. Let me make sure. Did I say everything? I did. Okay. That's all for this video. I'm going to love you and leave you guys. Thanks again for watching. Bye.